Hey, it's Wednesday and we're going to continue on in Galatians 5, and today we're going to talk about faithfulness. So we're saying in our marriages, the Holy Spirit, if we're followers of Jesus, in our marriages, the Holy Spirit should produce this kind of fruit in our lives. We've looked at love and joy and peace and patience and kindness, and last week we looked at goodness, and this week we're going to look at faithfulness.
It might be productive to first define what we mean by faithfulness, because we use the word faith quite a bit in our Christian walk and having faith in God. But what does faithfulness mean as a fruit of a spirit as it applies to marriage? So if you look at the dictionary.com definition, the adjectives listed there, you see that faithfulness is about a strict or thorough in performance or duty, true to a word, promise, a vow, steady in allegiance, loyal, constant, reliable, trusted, believed, very much having the ability that what you say is what you mean and proving that in word and action. So we thought it might be productive in thinking about faithfulness in marriage. If you have the ability to find your vows that you spoke to one another on your wedding day, or we included here the vows that Brian typically uses in the weddings that he officiates, that it might be really productive to read through those vows again and apply then the thought of, are we faithful to those promises, to those words that we express to one another? And take some time to read through them and really think, what did we say on that day? Because for some of us, it was a blur anyways. We were nervous and somewhat overwhelmed. So take some time to look at the vows that you have spoken to one another, the promises. And if you're faithful to those, that means that you are proving through word and action that you're true, that you're reliable, that you have an allegiance to those promises and to one another. Let's highlight some specific things from these vows. Let's look at things like for better or worse, richer or poorer. I'm sure you guys can reflect on your marriage so far, no matter how long you've been married. And you can say, have we been true? Have we been faithful when times are good? But have we, more importantly, been faithful to one another and to our promises when things have been hard? Richer or poorer? I'm sure you guys all have stories of times that money maybe was something that wasn't as much of a burden, and times that it has been. And how have you done through those? In sickness and in health. Sickness definitely can be a challenge to our marriage vows. Are you faithful to one another when one or both of you doesn't feel well, or if there's a serious illness or calamity that comes upon you? Are you being faithful to just loving and cherishing one another? Are you taking time to love and to build into your marriage? Are you faithful to that? Are you being faithful to the part of the promise that says that we will be parted only by death? Are you using words like divorce or maybe we'd be better apart? Don't speak those things. That's not being faithful to those promises. So by way of homework or your discussion time this week, sit down, read through the actual vows you spoke on your wedding day, or read through these that we included, and ask one another and ask yourselves, how are we doing in being faithful to these promises that we spoke on our wedding day? And what are the areas that we can improve? And how can we move forward with faithfulness definitely being a fruit that is an outflow of our life?